Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Sarah and this is the Nifty Nook Thrift channel. Outside today, obviously. So I just wanted to provide an update about the USPS Ground Advantage shipping supplies. They finally came this morning. Today is October 2nd, 2025. And yeah, they finally came. I was wrong about my last notification thinking that they had shipped. That was actually an eBay return, a Ground Advantage eBay return that had shipped. However, the shipping materials did ship to me just a couple days after that. So they finally got them shipped on the 27th of September, which is still 17 days after I placed my order, but I digress. They're here now. I'm gonna try not to worry about it because I'm happy they're finally here. Now, I am going to go through and show you what these new Ground Advantage supplies look like. I ordered all 5 of them, however, they didn't ship the Ground Advantage envelope 3. So there's 3 envelopes that they had available and there's 2 boxes. So I'm going to try to do this without blocking the camera there. So this is the first envelope. It looks basically identical to the Priority Mail padded flat rate envelope, except it's like brown and it has Ground Advantage. But this one, I ordered 500 of these. This is the size I'm going to be using the most. So yeah, I mean, they're basically just like the padded flat rate mailers. They're just brown. So I've got 500 of those. That is Ground Advantage envelope 1. So this is the size I typically use to ship everything on Poshmark. The next one here is like a cardboard one. This one is Ground Advantage envelope 2. This one's 14.5 by 20 inches. So this will be really good for like larger clothing items. And then the third size envelope, which I believe is kind of in between these 2 sizes, they didn't ship at all yet to me, so I don't know if their stock is low or something going on with that. And then the boxes, this is Ground Advantage box 2. It's basically the exact size of the Priority Mail shoebox. So there it is. And then Ground Advantage box 1 is the size of the Priority Mail large mailing box, essentially the same size. So this will be really good for bundles. Now, something very interesting I noticed about the date that these products were put into production, I'm guessing is what it is, but it actually says on all of these November 2024. Let's see if I can, it's over here, sorry, November 2024. So that's really interesting that, you know, maybe that's when they start processing this and Poshmark started planning this switch over. I'm still kind of frustrated how they rolled it out and everything, giving us just so few days notice to get all this figured out, but I am really glad that they did decide to provide us some shipping materials. So let me know in the comments, have you gotten your shipping materials yet, the Ground Advantage ones? Have you gotten the envelope number 3? I think it might be kind of like a Tyvek, I'm not sure. Something else that I wanted to bring up in this video is, and I'm sure there's going to be disagreement in the community about this, but these are USPS Ground Advantage shipping supplies, and if you are a reseller on other platforms, you know that, for example, eBay, Depop, you know, Mercari, most of these platforms are default USPS Ground Advantage. That is kind of the default, or I should say that is well, just both the default and the lowest shipping price typically. It depends on distance and weight on some items, but typically USPS Ground Advantage is going to be the go-to shipping method. So, of course, the question arises: can these supplies be used for any USPS Ground Advantage shipping? And surprisingly, there is absolutely nothing on any of these materials that says they have to be used exclusively for Poshmark. Now, when they rolled these out, though, they said they are exclusively for Poshmark sellers. So does that mean you have to, at minimum, be a seller on Poshmark, even if you sell on other platforms and want to use these for that? They didn't really clarify that, but in my opinion, if they wanted these to be used exclusively for Poshmark, then they should have made that very clear, not only in the policy, but on the packaging. And I will read, let's see what it says here. On the packaging, well, let's see. It's not on that one. Let's check this other one. This packaging is the property of the U.S. Postal Service and is provided solely for use in sending USPS Ground Advantage shipments. Misuses may be a violation of federal law. So, it's for USPS Ground Advantage shipments, which would apply to a lot of different things. So, I don't know, guys. For now, I am just going to be using it for Poshmark, but I would not be surprised at all if there are a lot of people that are going to use it for any of their platforms. And I honestly don't know if it's against the law or not, because I don't think that they have clearly spelled that out. Let me know in the comments what you think. Kind of interesting, and I kind of wonder if this is going to be rolling out to the general public eventually also. I don't think a lot of the post offices even know about this yet, at least from when I called my local post office. Even corporate, they didn't even know about it. So this seems to be something that may be going mainstream eventually, but for now is just available to Poshmark sellers. Because they don't have Poshmark branding, you know, anything on these packaging materials saying must be used exclusively for Poshmark, I can easily see a scenario where someone who is not a Poshmark seller at all just makes an account, doesn't even sell anything on there, and just makes an account, makes a username, says, hey, Victory Packaging, here's my Poshmark username, I'm a seller on there, and they just give them free packaging. So anyway, lots of loopholes in this, and I'm not sure quite how they're going to handle all of that. And like I said, for now, I am not going to take advantage of the situation until I know for sure that, I mean, I think it's obvious that they intended this just for Poshmark sellers, even though they haven't really, I don't think they've handled, like, clarifying their policy very well. But yeah, let me know what you think. And if you have gotten your supplies yet, I'm still waiting on the Ground Advantage Envelope 3, but like I said, I'm going to be fine because I typically use this size padded mailer in priority mail anyway. So yeah, so hopefully those will come in soon. Last thing I want to mention is this will probably be the last video in this Ground Advantage shipping supplies saga for now, because I want to get my content going back to some of the content that I used to do, such as hauls, what solds. I did add the platforms Mercari and Depop probably 2 months ago. Honestly, they're not going very well for me compared to Poshmark and eBay. So I'd like to make a video about that soon. My thoughts on the platforms. and share some things that I have changed with my approach to eBay, some of my policy changes, such as adding free shipping and things like that, that have really increased my sales and have allowed me to make more money. So anyway, drop me a comment below, let me know you're here. Thank you to everyone who's left me kind comments about my return to YouTube. I really appreciate every one of you, and I look forward to just sharing more of my journey with this community. So everyone have a lovely rest of your day. Here in Indiana, we've got a beautiful sunny day. It's a little bit hot, but there's nothing like being outside, so I thought I would do this outside. Plus, my son can play outside right now while I'm doing this. So, alright guys, take care, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.